shot 4 cops. I'm not, you hear it. He's shooting right now.
Can y'all see him?
Get back! Get back! Watch out! Is that a cop dead?
That's a cop down.
Dude, that's a cop down. Holy.
All right, some of the chaos last night in Dallas. Welcome back. Joining us now, Stacy Washington, host of Stacy on the Right Show, and Jim Hoft, founder of the GatewayPundit.com, conservative blogger, investigative reporter. I welcome both of you. I know that Jim, are you, Stacy? Are you in Missouri also?
Yeah, I actually know Jim pretty well. We are friends, and it's
Yeah.
really great to be on the show with him.
Well-
and it's good to see you, Steve.
Well, okay. Let me start with you, Stacy. I know that there was a cop shot. I believe I'm getting it might have been Missouri. I know there was a cop shot.
Baldwin, Missouri. That was today.
And there was a cop shot in Georgia. But what's your reaction to all this? You know, we've been talking about the statements made by Obama before the shooting. We've been talking about the statements made by Lynch after the shooting, Hillary before the shooting, basically indicting, convicting, and wanting to sentence the 2 cops in those shooting videos from Louisiana and Minnesota.
Well, if we learned anything from Ferguson, which is about 20 miles away from where I live in the suburbs in Missouri, it's that it's not the right thing to do to jump to conclusions based on videos that we've seen. And those videos were crushing. I mean, I had trouble looking at them, and it was painful. But I have to be the adult in the room when it's concerning Obama and Lynch and say, we don't know what happened. We don't know the beginning to end actual timeline on the shootings. And as much as I want to say, let's throw the book at that second shooting with the cop shooting into the car with the child in the backseat, I know better because of all of the false information we were given during the Mike Brown shooting. So I just wish Barack Obama could get his stats straight, since they come straight from the government. Blacks are not killed 3 times more often than whites. They're killed 1/4 as often as whites, at 26% compared to the numbers for whites and Hispanics.
Yeah, Jim, I want to put up, could we go to 21, guys? Could we skip it to the graphic 21? We have some statistics from this year, I believe, and this is 1,001 people killed by police this year in America. 502 were white, 250 were black, 163 Hispanic. So you get the gist of that. Jim, you know, you're always way ahead of the curve on GatewayPundit.com, the GatewayPundit.com. What could you tell us that we don't already know about the shooter, the situation, who was responsible?
Well, one thing I know is that Loretta Lynch last week, before knowing all the facts, she started a civil rights investigation down in Louisiana where Alton Sterling was shot. Today, we know that there was some racial comments made by this shooter. He wanted to kill white people. He wanted to kill white cops. But she's not going to have a civil rights investigation in Dallas. It tells me anyway, that there's a double standard here in this Obama administration. It's very disturbing. As far as the shooter, one thing I put up within the past hour on the Gateway Pundit, and that is that a year ago, some Black Panther activists were marching in Dallas and chanting about how they're going to kill the effing pigs. And so there's been a situation, or at least there's been a group of very radical Black Panther type Black Power activists in Dallas, and it's been going on for at least a couple of years since Michael Brown's death anyway.
Yeah, I want you guys to hear Barack Obama, some of what he said from Poland. Again, taking to the press at 1 a.m. It was so important that he had to trash the cops involved in Louisiana and Minnesota, and he had to give these phony statistics. Even if they were accurate, they have no context, so they're meaningless. But he fanned the flames, and here's some of what he said.
All of us as Americans should be troubled by these shootings, because these are not isolated incidents. They're symptomatic of a broader set of racial disparities that exist in our criminal justice system.
And he's talking about not the Dallas shootings, but the other shootings I mentioned. Stacy, what is he talking about? Michael Brown? Is he talking about Eric Garner? Is he talking about Trayvon Martin? Is he talking about Tamir Rice? All, not pretty to look at, but in every instance, the Justice Department or a grand jury or a DA or a jury said cops acted, or the shooter in the Trayvon Martin acted correctly.
Actually, Steve, in addition to those incidences, he's also referring to how often blacks are pulled over while driving, how often blacks are then arrested or frisked if they're stopped while walking as pedestrians. And all of that information is interesting, and it's something that is worthy of discussion, but it's much more nuanced, and there's much more to that. And as a black person who has been subjected to some of those things or seen family members subjected to some of those things, it's really troubling to hear the president try to roll all of this into one neat little package and then put gun control on top. This is a policy discussion that needs to be had in local jurisdictions and municipalities with local people and local members of law enforcement.
Right.
Solutions can be had, but not from the president and Loretta Lynch politicizing the deaths of these people and using it to implement their gun control agenda.
And it was the president, after the fact, after the Dallas shootings, who did mention gun control today. It was the Congressional Black Caucus who held a press conference to talk about gun control today. Nancy Pelosi on the floor of the House, Jim. So they didn't even wait until all the cops were, certainly any of them were buried or anything.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And then we also saw that the Black Lives Matter released a statement today saying that we shouldn't judge the group because of something that one member or a couple members might have done. And yet that's exactly what they're doing with the police in the United States. Every time we see one of these shootings, they say all police are racist and all police are against blacks.
Right.
And
Police.
so it's a double standard.
Tea Party, police, one incident, and everybody's tainted. Let's get to the phones, guys and ladies. 877 Newsmax. Gerald from Black Canyon, Arizona is up first. Hello, Gerald. Welcome aboard.
Thanks for taking my call, Steve.
Welcome. Go ahead, sir.
I really appreciate your show.
Thank you.
There's a couple of comments I'd like to make.
Sure.
About guns.
Yeah.
I wish the politicians would leave them alone. Every time they come out with this talk, the guns start flying off the shelves. More of them are sold. They're not doing any good. Just like the gun-free zones, they haven't made a bit of difference. That's where all the attacks occur. And this man, this shooter, you just had a picture of him on the TV.
Yeah.
I could have swore he had a set of prayer beads, Muslim prayer beads, hanging around his neck.
I don't know. I don't know that I would recognize them, so I'm not well, they just put them up. I don't see beads. Maybe they are. I thought maybe they're just design in whatever he's wearing. I don't know enough about that. But I thank you for the call. Thank you very much, Gerald. Let's go to John from Buchanan Dam, Texas. Hello, John.
Hello, how you doing, Steve?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Long time till I talked to him.
Yes.
Long time since. Hey, listen, I've got 3 comments. One, these police shootings that have been happening for the last 3 years are absolutely horrible. They've been happening around the world for the last 4 years, actually, starting in Israel and then in Europe and now here, and especially yesterday and today. The second comment is we got rid of Heil Hitler. Obama turned the cops back home, said stay away, stand down. Are we going from Heil Hitler to Heil Hillary?
All right, I'm not sure I follow that one, but John, I thank you. I thank you for the call. Let's try Steve from Atlanta. Hello, Steve. You're next, sir.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Good. What can we do for you?
Hey, my theory or my thinking is, this isn't no coincidence for this to be taking place when it's taking place. We all know that the left controls the media, and all this is a something to cover up Hillary Clinton and all the lies that she's told. And the media has already portrayed these cops to be guilty. When it's all said and done, they will be found innocent because these people died by the actions of their own hands. And I hate for anybody to get shot and killed.
Right, you're talking about the other cop incidents. Let me go to Jim. Jim, again, the president will never utter the words, "Hey, respect the cops, don't run from the cops, always obey the cops." He just won't say it.
Yeah, I agree, and I think we'd have a different situation in America today, Steve, if the president would have taken a different tact, a different action during Ferguson, but that didn't happen. Instead, he sided with the Black Lives Matter activists, and now you see what we have. So again, I think it comes from the leadership, and it trickles down through society, and this is what we get today.
All right, Stacy, we'll start with you, Stacy, when we come back. More with Stacy and Jim. And folks, the Gimme 5 today. If you didn't see Don Lemon on CNN complaining that he, as a big TV star and a big successful black man, actually has to be polite to the police, and that's not how it should be, wait till you see it. Don't go away. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back live. Stacy Washington, host of Stacy on the Right Show. Jim Hoft, founder of thegatewaypundit.com. Stacy, I want to go to you before we try to squeeze a call in here before the Gimme 5, and that is, it's amazing. Barack Obama has never, that I've ever heard him say, hey, kids, hey, parents, teach your kids never to run from the cops, never to disobey the cops. If you have a problem, you address it after the fact, and this will cut down on these confrontational issues and cut down on these tragedies.
I tell you what, I have to tell you, you just hit the nail on the head for me, Steve. This is one of the biggest issues I have with President Obama. He's been married to the same woman, his only marriage. They have children together. They don't have any outside children. And this is a huge area for him because, in my view, it's his only positive. It's the only thing I'm able to compliment him on because he and I are so ideologically opposed. He has had the opportunity for the past 7 years to speak into the black community, to talk about the fact that 8 out of every 10 children born to black families are born to a single family, single parent household. He could have spoken to that. He could have spoken to the issue you're talking about, talking to your kids about obeying the direct lawful orders of police officers and officials with authority over you.
Won't do it. Yep. Absolutely.
He can't do it. He can't do it. And it's just a freaking shame.
All right, let's go to a phone call at 877 Newsmax. There we go. Kim from Fort Worth, Texas. Hello, Kim. I know the shooting happened in your backyard.
Hey, Steve, Jim, Stacy. Yes, it's 32 miles, and one of the police officers killed went to my high school. What I'd like to say is what has not gotten out in the video, and I have 2 videos taken from balconies of the protest. It was not a nonviolent protest. They were chanting the whole time, and it's very, very audible. What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want it? Now. They said that over and over.
Well, let me, Kim, if you have, excuse me, if you have that video, I will ask you not to hang up at the end of this segment. I'll have Nora pick you up, and she could give you her email address, and you could send, if you can, that video, because I'd love to see it and play it on Monday.
Dallas Black Lives Matter had a email out.
Okay, well, check it out. Kim, I thank you very much. Hey, Stacy and Jim, it's always a pleasure to speak to both of you, and check out Stacy on The Right Show, and of course check out thegatewaypundit.com. That's Jim Hoft's wonderful website. Always a pleasure to speak to the both of you, and have a great weekend to both of you as well.
Thanks, Steve.